the first to know in Nsem-Pii TV.
The NDC government, Emra almost taking over power from NPP and NDC for na almost same call to na Attorney General. A file null prosecute a cancel cases nina. And no free as here or allegations bia and a press conference. Now a horo bia poto. Na case ba ko Attorney General bedi hu ko mo kire Ghana for ya hwe animu a emada. The NSS scandal. Gifty Oware, Ken Ashigbe, Honorable Yusuf, our AMP SSA, and directors of the National Service Authority. Attorney General allege yes omako US kabi. The ghost names B. Ashishe National Service num awie sika bebre. Emma won sem beye dedede wo Ghana na ekodae afa obi ante ho asem bi. Me no kaze Attorney General a file charges against them. Now charges on abusing for just nipa ba ko ye 16 charges and abono. Na ye bi say ho say case e be kwa kwasi ye, be kwa kwasi sen. Na yenko omahen the more details e dey aman.
Applied. Statement of offense.
She's been charged.
Stealing contrary to section 1241 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 at 29. Count 2.
Particulars of offense.
I mean, particulars. Gifty Oware, former Deputy Executive Director, between February 2022 and March 2024 in Accra, in the Greater Accra region, dishonestly appropriated the sum of 31,502,091. I mean, 31,502,091 Ghana cedi, the property of the National Service Authority, by causing the money to be transferred to blocks of life consult for your benefit. That's the particulars of the offense. Count 2, statement of offense. Willfully causing financial loss to the Republic contrary to section 179A3A of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 at 29. Particulars of offense. Gifty Oware Mensah, former Deputy Executive Director, between February 2022 and March 2024 in the Greater Accra region, willfully caused financial loss, and that's the figure 31 million and over, to the Republic by causing the said amount to be transferred to blocks of life consult, a company of which you are the ultimate beneficial owner, and for you to purportedly for the supply of goods on high purchase to national service personnel, you never supplied. So, and also, and was some count 3. And also count 4, baby. Because that was what was right. Okay, so count 3. Willfully causing financial loss to the Republic contrary to section 179A3A of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 at 29. Gifty Oware, former Deputy Executive Director, between February 2022 and March 2024 in Accra, in the Greater Accra region, willfully caused financial loss in the sum of 6,956,15747 Ghana cedi to the Republic by causing interest of the said amount to be charged by Agricultural Development Bank on the loan 31 million and above that you inappropriately authorized for blocks of life consult and benefited from. Count 4. Statement of offense. Using public office for profit contrary to section 179CA of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 Act 29. So, particulars of offense. Gifty Oware remains a former Deputy Executive Director between February 22 and March 24, 2024 in Accra in the Greater Accra region, dishonestly abused your office for benefit by unlawfully receiving under the color of your office for yourself an amount of 3150291.40 from Agriculture Development 31 million and also there be around 32 court be able from 31 million and then 502091.40 from Agriculture Development Bank through blocks of life consult which you knew you were not authorized to receive personally.
Name is onomatopic. What's the blocks?
So count 5 rather. Statement of offense. Is it the mark kind of 5? And 5 counts. Yeah. Until count 5 or say money laundering. Contrary to section 12AI of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020 Act 1044 and also Hanum say wow. I see. Lawyer for Basia, what is it?
Sir Eshegana Odikama Minche Tifunyina na Minche Ifia Fonso na Western Region Funyina na Ghana Fuina Wote and in the area Bri. Oma say Enyane dem de aban osusu de obi wafa kwanbone dubi ordinansa akoka abaniska abra onse de nipa no ordinansa kan enti na Ghana yeshishemra na emra ne chede se nipa no asem no kwa attorney general ho na ohwehwemati ka ba
there's a matika.
No, second there is another one.
Okay, money.
Oh, you see, enti
$500 million.
Money chenas. Lawyer, I say no interest.
No, I think problem I on the say no. Aban attorney general said why you him or would you did nipa na wa accuse no you give to Oware no or said okona okwa him na oyina no wasem dibia say oyina no wasem dibia asema obeka afam no obekye bibia ye de nipuma sibre ye de beto but ameme worry kakra owo hone de eyi give to Oware means an asem edisi no hia na aban be hwehwem but maybe some over time in one year do one coachina asem dibia de ye hwehwem na what one sa ka baniska no we kesiden
Yeah.
Okay, Alfred, Agwesiwo you me. Yes, 51 million on Sedema. You trained the for almost 8 years. Finally, judgment to crab bed Alfred Agwesiwo you me while finding guilty. Kwana yebe fadokra yebe retrieve sikano kra.
A problem.
No a problem.
It's a big one, yeah.
Yet Krom Hadi, the same government was prosecuting other government appointees for criminal offences. Aban for no otum or filing nolly prosequa or the demon crofuni in asem dibia without giving much justifiable reasoning tia obia aban ena yeka aban ye hinina. It is aban prosecute a government appointee over a period. Nasa aban for banas was the ori demon crofuni na or de case in China. Na me bi samonde nti Ghana na ye cheche no ye cheche ni based on mana yepe ena ye de cheche na de mana emranity ene yepe de di adwuma nti na I'm fine with any decision of government, the attorney general the obeshwhwem no dwen there or said or prosecute Gifty or remains and any other body or person, but I'm concerned there aban obey hwehwenim. Now we decided that others that were also being prosecuted, he found it necessary to withdraw the charges against them. Why? So Ghana abandoning some in the German court on the case. Just court on that's why they are before a court of competent jurisdiction.
This is Namuntu and Yeniso.
Or confidence and bus system nim. Or madman, I should be able to me, Yaman Croft, you holding Croft accountable. And you know, this prosecution, I am all for it. Say abandon there, Nipan Wire Bona. On Francois Simdibia. Nipan or right of representation. Obey Yinano, Babia, Obesino, Yingina before. But a decanfona na years charge one, why there's abances are debia, we can only prosecute the past, but we can't prosecute present.
Abances,
Debia did abances as I prosecute people. Why that ban Nankasa Wada? Say you do be a fumbra, yin to me and Fanny Panunqua Dibia. It will be better. Say Obande Gifty of Oware Nsem-Pii Senka Upomu Akufa do not ban him dead them nawaya. Obi beside would the government have that audacity to prosecute its own? The only instances are whether a banwa fanning for the Malamisa. Now on your NPP new true and true. And you know, Obi Beka there, though he was part of the government, you know, Obotu be using there the scapegoat. But we have not since 1993, some memory serving writer, any government, Yebeka corruption, how corrupt, MBs are banned being a corruption, I shall say. Obi Beka, Yati, the Oware, Obeka, Nina, Yeshi, Inichi. But yet, Timunankasa, so Bonokodo. Say Abanuma, Abanamon Hutu. It's one my Yambuani and Chich Romano. Yambuani and Adza, Obema, Akoma Botoyin, because Ghanaians have given that trust to hold public purse in the hands of the government, led by His Excellency the President. And Ghana for Shade or Mampinin, so a Ghana for Yen Mampinina, Onyin Yim, Onyin Shishinim. On fa one or gender one nenya na ordin one boko asem na impo obi wona bani no ya de no nya obotumu aye. We need that today than ever. We need to see that today. I want to see the day where a government will be bold when he receives complaints and issues. Yabeba galamse one hour do come attorney general there on Shishima wa NDC for make accident. You need confidence, you need boldness. You do be a you join there you walk kuduru you to me because the person is an opposition, an opponent. I'm all for it. Obia already began his hand akufa do na ban bia but don't prosecute. On shushem on for unko dia Nsem-Pii. If they find them guilty and even yebeba ho court nanka sample na year structure and he says you know yama politicization room it's even decisions of the court is becoming a problem.
FM.
Of course, I'm a lawyer, you are now the fina benti yama wakwaba no more akwaba ye ebeko akotro statement judgment ebeko akwishia judges but make a political colored cases are oko court obi nim de eyi oye a ban against ebia obi fofura owo aban echi baby every decisions are oba the same court that is taking a particular stand and aban says ape no che the decisions no so why ni na ebenya time ni akọ but o man ni man America ni the as a country say e pedo man okoni ni ma o se de ye ya man yosem Yedifi kwana nkrofo fa kwambonedo wode wonsa bo abani sikasem another woman on positions of trust minia oti woman position of trust or responsibility to protect government property and government resources we wejidi wenimu de ori ye na adwuma yi and mission nkran de onye na adwuma mosa osenofata but in case de obi oye bibi na se onsem fata o se den nanka sample otu mo pim no ka de ma dia ye nipa no re no onye interban onfa nko onfa ninkiti. We don't have that boldness as a people and we need to start that from today. Now government is show leadership. Inti mana Gifty Oware ne de ni ate.
All right. Lawyer Buamanya Kumedasi Besa, but for proper conversation with the I think any comment on this one?
Lady Kaimamicha, the Republic of Kamaga Fuina, Misama Minia, Eric Trinkwa. I mean, it's been a long journey, why are there? And he should keep fighting. I mean, people like Eric, they have a bright future in this business of politics. Now, having said so, Odim said not long ago, I was getting not disillusioned per se, but I was getting uncomfortable with the fact, with the silence of the Attorney General. I'm saying, now because I was in the spirit of broadening the horizons of transparency. Now all of a sudden, is it the allegations I hear Titi say Ebimo have sold the Oware for whatever? And where is somewhat a relief. Say Omuntindaye. And it is not entirely accurate. Say the allegations are no credit. Because I was wondering, say, some of these cases I ever might have this one saying. So which means when they were working on the pieces of evidence that they had gathered, no. And for me that's reassuring enough. Having said so, when you're a lawyer, look, this country is in serious trouble. Esan say, Abembia Ewosubia transfers the prosecution of alleged crimes to the next government. And that is wrong. Hardly would you find Abain dealing with Omangas or Munkrofor. It is in that spirit and yes support is we should have an office of the special prosecutor. Nejumani say or no, it's like an independent arbiter. Nejumani say he would investigate and prosecute matters of corruption and related matters. Unfortunately, we have been done. We've been, we've been done in, and now we've been dealt a raw deal. Since the creation of our office, but that was the intention. Say Yebenya, an institution that would have the courage to investigate and prosecute people even in government. That was the idea. Because Attorney General would this argument, the Minister for Finance is a colleague in cabinet. The Minister for Transport is a colleague in Parliament. And that very structure creates conflict of interest. Yes, the very structure of the Attorney General and Minister for Justice Ankasa creates a conflict of interest situation. And it disables him from pursuing on Ankasa Nunkrofo. Let's have an independent office. The person would have the courage to prosecute even Crawford Mwabemo, but unfortunately, we've just invested money with no concrete outcomes to show for. But when even though Mimi Nanka Abambia would have the courage to deal with Omankasa Omunkrofo, because that is the only way you can deter the commission of some of these crimes of corruption and related crimes. But if at all Yenya Baya on to mean deal with Onwan and Crawford, but there is a recognition say